Hey everyone, a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we have another question from the chapter of monotonicity and maximum minima. The question is asking us to find the number of roots of the equation e power x is equal to 1 plus x power 1 upon 1 factorial plus x power 2 upon 2 factorial all the way up to x power 100 upon 100 factorial. The maximum time allotted for this question would be 6 minutes, and ideally you should try to do it within 2 minutes. So you can give the question a try and then return back to have a look at the correct solution. So I hope you all have tried it out. Now the answer to this question would be 1. So x equal to 0 basically will be the only root. Now concepts and formulas used are Rolle's theorem, and the derivative of x power m would be equal to mx power m minus 1. Now suppose that, now first of all we are going to develop a lemma. So the lemma is, suppose that p of alpha is equal to 0 and p prime x equal to 0 has x equal to alpha as its only root. Then the equation p of x equal to 0 shall also have x equal to alpha as its only root. How are we going to prove it? The proof is rather simple. We can assume to the contrary that x equal to alpha is not the only root. So that means there must be some other root also of this equation px equal to 0. So let us assume that other root is beta, which is different from alpha, such that p beta is also equal to 0. But by Rolle's theorem, there exists a root of p prime x equal to 0 between alpha and beta. Why? Because p alpha is also 0, p beta is also 0. So both are 0 means both are equal to each other. So if we apply, Rolle's theorem between alpha and beta, we are going to get that p prime x will have to be equal to 0 for some x between, strictly between alpha and beta. But that is a contradiction, because as per our assumption in the lemma, we have assumed that p prime x equal to 0 has only one root, x equal to alpha. But we have hereby shown that there is another root between alpha and beta. So due to this contradiction, the proof is complete. Now let us consider the function fn x is equal to e power x minus the expansion all the way up to nth power. So clearly, we can observe that if you actually differentiate x power k upon k factorial, you will actually get x power k minus 1 upon k minus 1 factorial. Very easily you can observe. So due to this, fn prime x will come out to be e power x minus expansion all the way up to n minus 1 terms. So this is nothing but fn minus 1 of x. Okay, so fn prime x we have found this much. So basically fr prime x equal to fr minus 1 of x for all r belonging to natural numbers. And clearly fr0 is equal to 0 for all r belonging to whole numbers, because fn is this much, right? You put x equal to 0 both sides. So fn 0, obviously you are getting 1 minus 1, which is 0 only. So for any r belonging to whole number, whenever we put in the function x equal to 0, we get the value as 0 only. Now let us talk about a p of n, the statement p of n, which says that fn of x equal to 0 has only x equal to 0 as its root for all for all n belonging to whole numbers. How can we prove this now? Clearly p of 0 would be f naught 0 equal to 0, or, but what is f naught of x? Obviously it would be e power x minus 1 only. So this equal to 0 has only x equal to 0 as its root, right? Because when you solve e power x equal to 1, the only solution we get is x equal to 0. Yes. So we have established the very base case. Okay, for principle of mathematical induction, the base case has been established that for n equal to 0, p of 0 holds true. Now let us assume that p of k is true. Then fk plus 1 0 would be 0, obviously, because of this result that we have already proved. And secondly, fk plus 1 prime x equal to 0 when we solve. So we know that fk plus 1 prime x would be equal to fkx. Why would it be so? Due to this result that we have already proven. So we can say that, but look, since we assumed pk to be true, fk x equal to 0 will only have x equal to 0 as its root, right? Because p of k has been assumed to be true. So fk x equal to 0 has been will be having x equal to 0 as its only root. So that's why we can say that due to p of k, we can say that this equation will also have x equal to 0 as the only root. Now applying the lemma on the function fk plus 1x and taking alpha as 0, p of k plus 1 must be true, because we can observe that fk plus 1 of alpha is 0, and fk plus 1 prime x equal to 0 has x equal to alpha as its only root, right? So by the lemma we can say fk plus 1 x equal to 0 shall also have x equal to 0 as its only root, x equal to alpha as its only root, but alpha in this case happens to be 0. So that's why p of k plus 1 also we have proven true, and hence by the principle of mathematical induction, p of n must be true for all n belonging to whole numbers. So I really hope you were able to understand this proof and enjoyed the way we did it. Make sure to like the video and comment down below what more chapters you would like to see next, and share it with your friends. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to never miss an update, and I'll see you all in the next one.